Going absolute town here in Florida. This guy's way up there, taking that steep incline as if there's an airport to the north, which there isn't. Way up there. Came outside, seen a mail lady. I said there, I was like, what are they doing to my sky? And she looks up. And I've told her before, a long time ago. And you could see something shut off in her head automatically. And you can see right here, we got the ripple showing up consistently in this spot. Consistently. Which kind of makes me think it's a stationary frequency coming at it from the towers. Because I also wonder if it's coming from above, satellite style. Look at this thing. Jesus Christ. Look at that. Too much. So the whole sky is whited out. But quick talk on Trump and his new AG. I don't know if anyone's seen his hearing or some of it. Sure as hell ain't worth watching the whole thing. I just watched some of the clips. But then had to go back to look at some of it because Kamala Harris asked Mr. Barr about cannabis and if he's going to go after the states that already legalized it, like Jeff Sessions was thinking about and talking about, but was pretty much held back by Trump. And Barr said no, he's not going to go after the states. That's their prerogative. But he said those states are creating an imbalance. You know, they're basically going in the face of the federal law, which they are, you know, because it's federally outlawed. So what Mr. Barr said is that we need to change the federal law, which essentially means decriminalization or legalization or something to that effect. Who's creeping up? And people thought Mr. Obama was going to do that. Like, he spoke. He said he wanted to do it. He wanted to see it done, but he didn't do a damn thing for it. And we know how much of the you know, people of color population is in jail for simply that. On top of every other race. So it's pretty ridiculous. You can't have people, you know, in Colorado, right on the borderline, it's legal, and then you cross over the border, you know, you're 5 minutes, you're into the next town, and now you're a criminal. You can't have that, where one town's a user, or you know, just a recreational user, or whatever you want to call it, and cross the border, you're a criminal. You can't have that up and down all across the country like that. That's too ridiculous. So, with everything we got going on, fentanyl and all of this stuff, if that's any sort of focus, I mean, pretty much they're going to have to get it rescheduled, because it's a Scheduled 1 drug like cocaine and heroin, which they base on the abuse factor and the threat factor. And cannabis is so low on the scale compared to other things that falls in with nicotine and caffeine and all of that good stuff, which are probably more chemically addictive. But, you know, it's just ridiculous. You want to talk about freedom in a country, and people are A-OK with someone getting arrested for sparking up something inside their house. That's totally ridiculous. Totally ridiculous. If people think that's a great infringement, you know, a lot of the hardcore Christians, you know, for some reason back that. And, you know, if you don't know where that plant came from, it came from God. It's not GMO. People are going to the store willingly eating GMO and all kinds of frankenfoods and scientific experiments. This is one of the oldest plants in history of written knowledge. So the little bit we've investigated it, as far as medically wise, is all been held back by the pharmaceutical industry. That's no secret. Recreational wise, it's held back by different lobbyists. The alcohol industry, they've caught Anheuser-Busch basically putting out, you know, funding things that are anti-cannabis because it threatens their market. So, you know, this whole thing has just been one vice grip on the people. Whether you want to do it or you don't want to do it, or you're into it or not into it or whatever, it's not their business to interfere with something like that. So hopefully Trump straightens this out, and if he does, that'll be one of the biggest boosts to the people of color population that there have been in ever. You know, they're actually going in different states now. I think Vermont, they're going back and you know, changing people's criminal histories, and they're erasing this stuff. Good people don't need that on their history. You know, like Jeff Sessions said, good people don't use cannabis. Like Slick Willie Clinton and everybody else, and Georgie Bush and all of them, just they can use it. But yeah, I'll give it I'd say within a year, or within the 2 years that Trump has left, just to guarantee he gets it in there. And I think he's gonna do it. That's my goddamn prediction. So we'll see what happens. I say a year from now. All right, folks.